coming. Really appreciate everybody's interest in the store and what we're planning to do with Costco. We understand it's a very important store, it's a very important location for the community, and we're sensitive to everybody's concerns. I personally have read, I don't know how many hundreds of Facebook comments and just various news outlets and things, just to gauge the community's concerns. And what I find is, certainly we appreciate all of our members, our loyal members, so that's key. But there's a lot of concern about what's really happening with it, and a lot of people not really knowing what a business center is. Yes?
Who are you, sir?
I will get to that in just a second. So, but now that you've said that, I will move on to the next section. But I wanted to just express the appreciation for everybody being here tonight. So, with me tonight is we have over here Steve Chamberlain. He is VP of Business Center Operations. We have Morgan Nestigard on the right-hand side there. She is with Costco Real Estate. We have John Duran. He is our Senior Project Manager with our architect. We have Dan Kozatek, who is our Vice President with our Civil Engineering firm. And my name is Steve Cross. I'm Costco's Real Estate Development Director for this particular project here. So as I said, we're really happy to be here to really share with you what a business center is, because not having a business center, not seeing one, I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there as to what it will entail. There are key things that are going to be missing in a big business center that you currently have in a warehouse. We'll go through that. But there's also going to be a lot still remaining that will fill in the needs of the community. I saw a lot of things comments about where am I going to get my grocery shopping. You'll still be able to do that here. There's a lot of things that if you had never been to a business center, you'll be pleasantly surprised as to what a business center actually, even though it's called a business center, you might think, well, I'm going to buy 50-pound bags of onions, and yes, you can buy a 50-pound bag of onions, but you can also buy the regular size onions that you get at the Costco today. So not everything is supersized. So this neighborhood engagement is obviously required by code with what we are proposing in our application to the city here. So the goal of this meeting is to really share, again, to share the details.
Explain what is required by code, whose code, what code?
The city code requires us to have a neighborhood engagement because of the application and the specific requirements. I'll get to that, sir. I'll get to that.
Explain that.
I will get to that, sir. Okay, I will get to that. So the goal of this meeting is really, there's people outside, so really the idea here is that we want this to be an open house meeting. We're going to give a 15-20-minute presentation. Myself, Steve, and John will give the presentation here, and then we'll be available for questions. So what the idea is that we will hopefully answer a lot of your questions first with the presentation. So you can see the boards that we have here that show the changes to the site. So we want to explain what is being proposed here. I'll explain the approvals that were being sought by from the city. So the specific actual approvals, which isn't the approval to change to a business center, it's the approvals related to the site plan, and I'll get to that. John will get into the explanation of how the site is going to change and how it's going to be improved, and then talk about the building and traffic. I know that's a concern. People think that business center, oh my gosh, there's going to be traffic, it's going to be chaos. It's actually the opposite. Business center will actually have a significant less traffic than the current warehouse. And more importantly, then Steve is here as the expert in the business center to really get into what the business center offers. And that's really key, because that's one of the biggest misconceptions I saw. I don't think it was deliberately misinformed on media, social media. I think people just didn't know what a business center provides and what it sells. So we'll get into that. So this property, as everybody knows who's been around here long enough, certainly longer than I have here, but was developed in about 26 years ago. It's about 14 acres. It's been operating as a Costco warehouse there. We have the fuel facility. For those of you not familiar with it, it's down in the corner down here. We have 670 odd parking spaces. So this is geared up for a warehouse. So when we change to a business center, some of these numbers come down. So that actually, when you look at it now and you see how busy it is, it actually will be less busy with the business center, just because of the way people shop at a business center. So then, and just to point out the other locations which everybody's familiar with, we've got Independence, which is 12 miles to the east. We have the Overland Park, which is about 12 miles directly south. Lenexa is about 11 miles to the southwest. And then we have...
I apologize. You turned that direction. I'm so sorry to tell you.
You come here. I'll try to stay facing this way. I'll stay facing this way. If I turn the other way, you can remind me. And then, of course, we have the new Leaf Summit store, which is opening up about 15 miles to the southeast there. So I want to get into the actual application, what the application is. So the application that we have into the city right now, which is a major amendment to the urban development district. What you see here are the two site plans, and John will get into a little bit more detail. This is the site as it looks today. So if you look at an aerial photo, this is a rendering of the site today. If you look at the top one here, this is the after version. And the key to what we're seeking with the city is this outdoor van storage. We'll see if we can get into that a little bit later in terms of what the outdoor storage is. In terms of that's where we replace the full delivery vans. Once they're loaded up here, they get shipped over to here, and then they go out in the morning. So the vans go out in the morning, one time, they go out, and then they come back in the evening. So the actual request is just to have this enclosed outdoor storage area. We do have some other minor site plan changes, but those other changes wouldn't kick it into a major amendment. So it sounds like it's a big change what we're doing out there, but it's not. It's just the outdoor storage area there.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Have you guys done a study on like how adding those vans to your business center is going to affect the traffic around here? Or?
We have done a study in terms of the amount of traffic that's going to come here. And those vans, because they're not semi-trucks, we actually will have about 20% less semi-trucks coming here. So we have about 25 a day come here currently. We're going to have about 20 with the business center. So there's actually going to be a drop in the semi-traffic. The member traffic, so the vehicles, the pickup trucks, all that, we typically have about 600 to 6,500 visits a day. That, with the business center, will drop down to about 2,000. So when you ask about the traffic, adding initially about 5 to 10, and then up to 25 trucks, that will have negligible effect on the traffic in the area. Yes?
Why do you know it will drop down? Louder, please.
So the question was, why do we know it drops? Well, the good thing about the Costco model is we know our member. We know where everybody lives. We know how much you spend. Well, we know. Yeah. So the question was, and I'm going to focus on just the questions because I do want to get.
We were the first group here in Kansas City that brought us to Costco. We supported it. And that's why Costco is big for whole metropolitan area. And I think somehow your management has gotten your customers lost in their brains.
Well, there's a lot goes into the decision, which I'm not going to get into here, but there is a big decision, and this goes all the way to the top, to make this change.
And that's what we needed.
And it's yeah. So here we're just trying to explain, tonight we're just explaining what the business center is.
While you're on traffic, I noticed that the east side, the southeast side, to me looks like it has increased. So does that speak to more semis coming in?
Okay, so I'll jump into this thing. Since you asked the question. So if you look at this is the current building. These are the 4 receiving docks right here. What we've done is, in order to provide a space to load up the delivery vehicles, we are cutting into the building at this location. So the building is not getting bigger, it's actually getting about, I think, 6,000 square feet smaller. So this gets cut out here, and then we add these shipping docks. So this is where these vans will come over here, they'll be loaded up overnight, sent back to the fenced-in area, and as I said, everything will be ready to be delivered in the morning at 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Can you help explain why?
Sorry, hang on, there's a lady over here had
Oh,
a hand up
excuse me.
first.
The information that you are going to be talking about has already been passed around by the community when they learned about the conversion. My question is, what prompted the development of the conversion for the Linwood Center? What was the business?
It's a business decision, it's a corporate business decision. When looking at the global area,
In making the business decision, what in the business decision, what about our store prompted our store to convert it to business? What developments? Is it because we didn't have office racks and office people?
I'm not, and I appreciate the question, and I'm not really gonna get into the details of that. That's something I'm not prepared or able to discuss. That is a high level to the very top corporate decision with the Lenexa store opening and the existing stores around it that I mentioned, that kind of created the need to convert this to a business center. So,
What was the need though?
I can't get into the details of that. I'm sorry, I'd rather just get into what the business center is. So what I'd like to do is move on.
To the people who made these decisions.
Yeah, can we explain something? The whole
Sorry.
reason why the city, as we publicly, I used to be on the board and I participated in Costco, I've been a member since the very first day.
And I appreciate it, thank you.
So the reason why the city has these public meetings is to address the questions that people are asking you, which you cannot answer. So let me say, as someone who used to work in retail before I went into is that we were the first, I think, inner city Costco opened in the United States. And I remember, let me finish.
Yeah.
I remember how upset I was when my sister would drive up from Maryland and she would have her from Costco. When you opened this Costco, there were not other Costco's in the area, and we built a business for you. My daughter lives in Los Angeles, I can tell you there are not as many.
I don't mean to be rude to cut you off, but I appreciate where you're heading with this.
What
That's not the,
what I am telling you, which is what a lot of other people here want to tell you, is that I asked in the store why this was changing, and I was told theft and those sales. And what I am telling you is if those sales is part of the issue, it is because you opened up multiple Costco's in a small area in Kansas City and drove some of that business on. So I am concerned that we're here being told what a business center is, which is not the concern of most of the people who are here. Most of the people here are trying to understand why for 25 years we were supporting what was for a time the only Costco. We gave up housing and other things to put that building in, and all of a sudden we went to the suburbs. Someone like me with a car can get to the suburbs, but you're not giving us the answers that we're.
I appreciate that, but I'm not able to share that kind of detail with you here. So I think that, sorry. Yes.
You keep making a statement about a business center. You have one business center, am I correct, in the entire state of Florida? I've been there. You say no one's been there, when I walked
I didn't
in.
say no, I said most people would.
That's what you're saying. I've heard you basically say, as if none of us know, I do. I went into the business center looking for a filling station. There was not one there. There were 15 cars there. I walked in and they laughed the moment I walked in, my mouth dropped open. And I did see exactly what you read in a lot of people's comments, that the amount of meat possible is the 100 pounds, which is a great saving for a restaurant. It's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with what you.
I just went through the
This
Bedford store.
location
Bedford
does not
Hospital.
deserve
They do
this
have,
treatment.
well,
What
you know what?
doing right now is pretty.
Let's do this, let's do this.
I'll sit down and let you talk. You only said 1 minute. One of us wanted this.
No, no,
No one wanted this, so you're going against our, people don't stop this. Or you be involved with this, or you're not gonna be. You're taking your great employees and making them drive from here till they summit. You know how far that is, sir?
Actually, the employees, we look at our members, we look at our employees.
You not want this to happen. Your own employees.
Why don't we do this then? Look, I think the best thing to do, we're gonna tell you.
Everybody's very unhappy. You should know that.
You have to realize that this is a public meeting, which means we run the meeting, you don't run the meeting. You've come to convince us that this is a good thing, but nobody here feels.
We're not on your
it's a good
schedule.
thing. So you keep trying to push back and push.
Tell us why
your
this is
agenda,
good for us.
But we're not going
How
to
is
listen
this
to it.
good?
What we're
So
telling
we need
you-
to run the meeting.
what we're telling you
and
is
you
what
need to
our-
listen to us.
And I understand
Because
it.
listening to what you have to say is not gonna
In the interest of trying to get through this meeting and allowing the other people to come in and hear what a business center is. That's what we want to get across to you today. Okay, we will share what a business center is. So I think what I'd like to do is turn
Are
it
you
over.
surprised that you have people waiting outside and can't get in?
This was clearly a purposeful decision to make it a smaller place.
At this meeting at the Plaza Library, you could have filled that auditorium. If you don't know
There's plenty of places within 3 miles.
bad feeling we have about what you want to change.
Not every
in this
decision is
community,
gonna satisfy
why do you
everybody.
have this meeting in this little room?
Not every decision is going to satisfy everybody.
No, it's not gonna satisfy everybody. What I'm trying to say.
Sure shit gonna
is
satisfy
it's a
you guys.
Great example of your poor planning. And you're telling me you've planned this thing, you're acting as if you're surprised you've got people waiting outside trying to get in.
Okay.
It's your thinking that's putting this in.
If you would take your seat, please, I'd like to continue the presentation. So what I'd like to do is have Steve Chamberlain come up and explain to those of you who don't know, who have not visited a business center, exactly what a business center is. Sorry, unfortunately, there was just a lot of chaos at the other end.
I feel like that your people in charge probably don't live in Kansas City, I mean, way up there, that are making some of these decisions. So they probably don't know that this business, this Costco is the only one in town that is on mass public transit. And so people can get there from just about anywhere. You don't need a car to get there. And although it was a long time ago, when I graduated from college, it took me 2 years to get a car. I had to live on the bus line. I know what it's like to have to do that. So you're not considering people that have to go on the bus line and go on public transit, and this is the only one in town.
I appreciate that.
All of the suburbs.
Don't cut her off.
People have cars and they can get to it, and so you could put a business center out there and.
But I want, okay, thank you for your comments and questions there. What I do want to do is I do want Steve to give his presentation, because I think it is important for everybody to understand what a business center is. Yes, you are losing, just, let me talk, please, let me talk. You're losing certain things. Yeah, you are losing certain things. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Okay, you're losing the pharmacy, the clothing, the toys, you're going to lose hard lines. But the biggest thing. Yes, that's why we're trying to engage to explain. Well, if you would like to leave, that's fine. We're trying to share with you what the vision is.
If
Let's Steve give the presentation.
If you guys are claiming that this is because of theft or loss or whatever, then like,
Give a little bit of background for myself. I actually worked at this location back in 2003 as the store manager, assistant store manager, excuse me. I was promoted just shortly after I worked at this location. But you know, being in the Midwest for 10 years, I actually had the opportunity to work at this location. Great location. In 2023, I took my current role, which is overseeing operations for the business centers. So for those of you that don't know what a business center is, we operate 26 right now in the U.S. One being in Florida, soon to be 3. We are expanding very quickly. Very good business model as Costco is, right? This is our field for the void in business memberships. So that's what the business center is all about. So what we have that's very convenient and is beneficial for our business members is the open hours. We're open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Sunday. Okay. The gas stations will follow suit with the current hours of operation. We have an expanded selection of goods, grocery goods specifically. So anyone that's concerned in not being able to grocery shop, that's a misperception.
No one here is.
We have 600 additional SKUs in groceries.
Do you have fresh fruit and vegetables?
We do.
the presentation, please?
I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. So, the one benefit for the business members also, and for you, shopping at this location is the foot traffic. So, we do studies across the US on our foot traffic in a normal Costco and a business center Costco. It's a third of the traffic across the nation, a third. So you can get in and out of there way more easily.
It's not a concern anyone
Delivery
here
options,
has.
you have the option to put in a delivery order through the Costco Business Center delivery website. So you can use that as an avenue. We have 65% of our goods are item unique to just the business center. So that other 35% is what you see now at Linwood.
Where the eyeglasses gonna go?
Eyeglasses, we will have no optical, no hearing aid. I was gonna get there, that's part of my notes.
Let him make the presentation.
What convinces you that you guys are going to be able to outcompete with the Restaurant Depot that's like a block down the
That
street?
is our direct competitor, and we, all day long, compete with them on pricing to make sure that we are
Not
competitively
currently
priced.
providing a different service from Restaurant Depot. You're going into a market, the Restaurant Depot, a business that already exists here and is a staple in Kansas City.
We are
You're
prepared to
competing with
compete
that
against
business now.
Restaurant Depot, just like we do in every other market.
Idiotic decision.
So we do carry 2,900 SKUs in our business centers. The average Costco carries about 1,000 more. Where that comes from, as you guys will know, is TVs, electronics, the fresh departments. I heard somebody say bakery, that's gonna go away. We'll carry meat, but it's in a different bulk pack. The deli will go away, fresh deli will go away.
No rotisserie chicken?
Very limited amount of pharmacy SKUs, so all the ancillary departments will go away. In the business centers, you don't have hearing aid, you don't have optical, you don't have tire shop, you don't have food court. And then the pharmacy, of course.
What about health and beauty?
Health and beauty, we do have. Yep, we do have that. And we do have a very small version of,
Pharmacy or not?
no, we have a small version of pharmacy items, but not prescriptions, no.
Excuse me, while you're going through the departments that are being eliminated, okay? I don't get it, okay, personally, okay? But one of the things that I was told by the store manager, Nathan, okay, okay?
Nathan's at the new location.
He's at,
He's at Lee Summit.
I thought he went to Lynette.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is, he told me that they're eliminating the liquor department.
That's
okay?
correct.
Now, that personally doesn't bother me. Just a minute, let me just finish, okay? But I know for a fact that the Kansas stores don't sell liquor, and the people who live in Kansas come to the Linwood main store for their liquor. And I don't quite understand the logic of eliminating that, as well as some of the other departments.
This
Can you
can't
address
be
the
more
electric
profitable.
department?
Well, we don't do any liquor in any of our business centers,
Well, I
So-
understand, but
because there's different legal parameters set around that we don't wish to go into. What's that?
So why make it a business center?
That is the directive above me. So like Steve had said, that it starts at the very top. So these approvals and these decisions are made way above us.
I'd like to hear what's in the store. Let him finish.
Thank you. So, as far as businesses are concerned, this is what we cater to, is the restaurants, to professional offices, daycares, convenience stores, is the bulk of our business. Our delivery business that we do through this, we'll start off with 4 to 5 trucks in this big space. It'll grow. I don't know, it'll take many years to get that big, as far as the vehicles in that space. So we'll start off with 4 or 5, and what Steve had said is correct. You know, we use this as a loading dock to load these trucks. These go back into the yard, and then they usually go out about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. They come back at 4 or 5.
What are the delivery trucks for?
Delivering goods to members, business,
To
business.
That's the delivered members.
Yeah, yeah. And just keep in mind, delivery is for business members, yes.
Business or household?
Business members,
What about executives?
business members. only business. So if you're an executive business, sure. Keep in mind, anything that we do within the store, it's any membership card. Everyone can shop at this Costco, just like they do now, okay? Look at it, we had made
Not if you
comments
get your
about the
drugs
different
there.
departments that we don't necessarily have in the new location. And the reason for that is the 600 additional SKUs that we put in their foods department to drive business members, drive those items along with additional grocery items for you as a family, okay? That number goes up to 2,300 SKUs versus the 17 that is currently in that location. The other things that we look at to make sure that we have the right goods is additional cleaning supplies and products, packaging, different packaging items, different supplies for stores, along with, in our center section, or you can show these slides. So in our center section of the store currently, we have a variety of different seasonal items, which will skew way down on that. But the lion's share of that center department is snacks and candy for the convenience stores and beverages. We have a very expanded SKU count in all of our beverage goods. So what you'll see there is right now, as you shop for drinks, you're getting a variety pack. We'll carry the variety pack plus a straight pack of a specific item. And it could be 2 or 3 out of that variety, but only that straight pack item. So we do that a lot through the beverage category. The one thing that you will see that you don't typically see in a core location is our walk-in coolers. So this is your traditional set that you see now. 2 freezers, 1 cooler. You'll go to this set, and this is 2 freezers and a 10,000 square foot box of cooler goods. So that houses all your produce, that houses the meat department, that houses all the milks, the dairy, the cheeses, the different kinds of cheeses we carry. We carry cheeses in big bulk for the business members, along with small for the domestic as well. But those boxes they range anywhere from 10 to 15,000 square feet. So a lot of good open shopping spacing for all the fresh goods. What else did I get this up here? So the 3 ways to shop is, again, obviously walk in, delivery business, delivered goods for a business, and then same day Instacart that we currently do in our business model along with the core business model. So from there, the process of decommissioning this location is going to be fall of this year, and we'll start revamping and converting the location to these photos that you see here, the before and after effect. The goal is to be open in spring of 27, but one thing to keep in mind, the gas station is going to stay open through the entirety. So the gas station will stay open all the way through construction.
What about after construction?
Yeah, we're not shutting it down.
So
After construction, it just continues to go. So we'll be down for 4 or 5 months, reconverting some of the different pieces of the property here, right? But this will stay flowing, continuous all the way through.
Do you have an estimated date?
We don't.
Okay, thank you.
What was the other question?
Okay, so instead of driving a round trip of 3 miles to get to the pharmacy, I now get to drive a round trip of 30 miles. Get my prescription. And at least I can drive. Great many Kentucky who use the pharmacy.
Yeah.
They don't have a way to get to your store.
You've done a lot of studies
And
on
you
traffic.
act as though, well, that's just too bad.
Have you done any studies on what type of impact your business decision has on its community? You do studies on traffic, hey, you're gonna have less trucks. That's great. We're not concerned about that. Where are we going to take care of our families and our children? Have you looked to see what this is going to do to the community? Any studies?
I'm sure there's studies that, the things that.
No.
So no,
the things that I don't
yeah,
have
you haven't done
information on,
studies,
but I
no.
can't tell you that.
That
I
needs
think
to
there's a
come out.
misconception here of what a business center actually
No.
is. I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Everything that was written
Where
about it
are
is exactly what you just said.
Our pharmacy, that
Actually,
whole
let me just-
pharmacy knows our
Let me
entire
answer the
family.
pharmacy question. Morgan, could you explain what the alternatives are?
Yeah, there's a few alternatives for the prescriptions. At the time of the warehouse Can't hear you.
Yeah. When the pharmacy is closed, either the prescription will be filled on file, moved to the new Lee Summit location. At that time,
To Lee Summit?
you can go through our app to get it delivered to a current or the location that is now nearest to you. For $7.99, it can be filled via Instacart and delivered directly to your home, and that comes with a $35 grocery fee. It's totally waived.
What if,
So delivery prescriptions come direct to your home.
$7.99 is too
what if I'm
much.
homeless and I use the pharmacy at the business center?
It's
How am I
too
supposed to
high.
do that?
We are a lower income area, right in here.
Okay,
Is that,
That's too much.
what she's saying is, you guys don't have the answers that the higher ups do. Is this decision based on socioeconomics of the neighborhood?
Again, that's
We are
not
not,
a
we are not,
question we can answer.
we are not the suburbs.
What kept your executives from giving you that information?
Why are the people that are making this decision?
And you say it's a business decision, but that's why we want to know why you picked Linwood, of all places, why not Johnson County? And
Yeah.
I don't think it is, I don't think.
Well, I think, let me just answer that question.
For you to be dismissive about that information.
No,
Why Johnson County, why the next location rather than our location for the business center?
Mhm.
What developments prompted that?
You're building a new Lee
one of the
Summit
things you
location,
guys
you could
are
just
all
build
looking
it
at
there.
is the glass being half empty.
No.
you are taking away.
No.
Stealing from us. We have no other option.
Please,
That's
please.
how it is.
You are being dismissive.
No, I'm not being dismissive.
Why
So,
did you pick Linwood versus Johnson?
as Steve said, there's a high decision, but what this ends up with is you end up with a business center, because the alternative is, the alternative is it's closed. You have nothing. That's,
If you tell us, if we don't buy the business center, you will close the store. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
so,
That's our money, that's our money. You're financing it from us. My suggestion, when I go in front of the city.
You might wanna go back into history.
Terminate your lease when it's over, bring in the Sam's warehouse.
Mhm.
That will solve all our upset about you.
Mhm.
This gentleman worked in this local store, you tell me when the lease ends. You have a lease with the city of Kansas City. They have to approve.
Are you confident in that?
Pardon?
Are you confident in that statement?
Absolutely.
They're releasing that property.
That's what I'm asking you, when is the lease term? I don't know, that's what I'm asking you. If the manager of the store, I would think you would know that. We have.
Costco owns the property.
We own the property.
The city owns the property.
Where are you getting leads from?
You made a statement that.
And they can take it back.
If the business center didn't go in, you would close
I
the
said,
store.
that's the alternative.
Is that
So-
really the alternative?
No, the question was, why did we pick this one? Like I said, as Steve said, there's decisions made above us, but this location.
You can't even speculate
is
to
able
why
be
they would
converted
possibly
into a
do
business
that.
center because of the business community that exists around the city. But while serving the business community, as Steve says, you still have 35% or even more increased product that you already have today.
So we have an opportunity to influence the city to not approve this, is that correct? The city has not yet approved this, is that correct?
Correct, this is the
Okay.
first step.
So
If you'd like to
we
come to the
are-
planning commission
we
next week,
can,
you could do that.
we could, it's a great idea. I don't have a problem with business centers. I have a problem with the effect of taking this kind of a store out of this community. You hang out in this store and you see the entire Midtown Center, Kansas City here.
Mhm.
That is, you are not serving them. And
I
when we
understand.
voted, and when they voted to do the tax change and everything to create Home Depot and Costco, there was a sense of serving the community here. I do not see how this business center, which is a great idea, instead of our current store is a good idea. That's my problem.
Mhm.
My problem is this current store serves a community here, come in and you see the people carrying things.
I understand. Let me ask the lady in the back here.
When you have converted other stores to business centers,
Louder, please.
Louder.
The question was, do we get this much pushback when we've converted other stores? I've only done one other one in Winnipeg, that's the one I've done. Steve could speak to that.
I haven't done any of the conversion conversations. We just did one recently on one of the islands.
I think there should be a sign that this is unique to our community and our store.
That's understood.
And it
That's not a question.
Yes, so
We need to get back to upper level though. You guys need to go back and say, this is.
We will share the information.
I'm not gonna change your plans though.
Okay, sorry, can we, the lady in the back has had a hand.
I
Yes.
wanna know more things that are gonna be in the store. You say the deli's gonna be gone, and I'm not sure exactly what the deli was.
The French deli does rotisserie chicken,
Okay.
it does the ribs.
Yeah.
All things that we need. Deli, bakery.
Quiet down.
Resources of Costco, you can't integrate your business center into, if not our space, another free space. We have, it's not like there's not land. Either integrating. I'm sure someone can figure that out.
And let me just say,
I'm sure that was reviewed.
let me just say this real quick, because in St. Louis, the business center is 3.4 miles away from the other Costco's wholesale off of 170. So they're very, very close.
It was a new store, we built that one. So actually, we renovated the existing building.
Because a lot of people use the pharmacy is fantastic, they know us, we love the pharmacy.
We understand
And the
the
answer.
concerns, and we will share
But
that.
the answer was given to us, oh, go to the lease, so it's 15 miles away.
No, the answer that Morgan gave was that initially, all the pharmacy will get transferred to the Lee Summit store, and then you can transfer it to Independence or over the Barcle Annex, whichever one.
Maybe we need this meeting with the right people. Maybe we need to revisit this.
Yeah.
You guys
You
can't
can't
tell us
answer any of our questions.
how this is
Is
going
this
to help us.
decision socio-economic because of our neighborhood? And it's not going out into the suburbs where they have more money? You don't know that, do you?
No, I'm not gonna speak to that.
Well, you're not going to speak to it, or you're not,
Okay,
don't
so
know.
we got 2 minutes to wrap this up.
Have you guys had a
If any other
similar-
questions specific to the business center?
Have you guys had a similar project like this where there's a competing, already existing business center in the
She
area?
had her hand up before you jumped in there.
Yes, can you tell me, since the 25-year increment finance plan expired very recently, and I wasn't here when that went in, I might be correct it wrong, it seems like this decision was immediately after. So can you clarify if it's?
I don't think that, I think it's coincidence there. And I think,
Coincidence.
and I think if you want to go back into history, I would suggest talking to the city about the TIF district.
We have one right here, can you?
Because,
Can you answer that, sir?
yeah, it's not as black and white as you might think, with the Costco coming in with the TIF district. The TIF district predated Costco, is my understanding.
Is there any possibility of having a hybrid business center? In fact, that yes, you do your business center, but you take into consideration this community and the things that you've heard here to maybe have a little bit of deli or a little bit, or maybe you still get some bakery goods, but you don't have your bakery there.
Keep the
Or
pharmacy.
maybe there's a small pharmacy there.
Good question. Already gone?
Well, when we talked about this specific location, you know, all of these were brought and put on the table, like, you know, what does this look like? Do we open a business center and really breach what we are all about as a business center and have a pharmacy? And do we have a fresh department? Do we have a food court? I mean, at what point do you stop and say, we're against our business model as a business center?
Build
So-
a business
so-
center someplace
So we
else.
stuck with, we're gonna keep it a business center model, and this is the way it's gonna roll.
Oh, okay.
And again, that's a decision that was made way above my pay grade. I'm here to talk to you about our business centers.
You wanna convince us, and we're not convinced.
Okay.
Talking to a city councilman back there.
Okay, I think he has an answer question. The
Yeah,
gentleman
I mean,
back-
you've got an audience of loyal customers here. So these are your friends sitting in front of
We
you.
appreciate every one of you.
We appreciate it.
Sure you do.
But what it seems to me the solution is a freestanding business center. I mean, that's.
Unfortunately, decisions have to be made. They
Well,
don't
I mean, that's.
meet everybody's goals, but that's the decision that has to be made for the employees, for the members, for the business community. So keeping the store open, keeping employees here, there's a lot more goes into it than just make a decision to, oh, well, let's just close it.
I guarantee we put this on a ballot,
There's
decision's
people
gonna
that
be
need to
made.
make more money off of
The
this.
message you gotta send back is, Kansas City would demand have a freestanding business center wherever you wanna put it in the city. North, south, east, west would be fine, but you need to leave this door open.
Yes. And we have lots of empty schools, by the way.
Okay, last question there, and then we'll wrap it up.
You said you appreciate the site. I feel that. We've been members for 25 years. We're there the first day the store opened. Very loyal. I don't feel that return. I do not have a business.
And paying their taxes too.
We shop there. I cannot support this model because appreciate everything that's being added with this number of SKUs. Cannot support this because my community really wants the services along with the grocery component. And therefore, I cannot support that
Miles away
more,
for people to go to the pharmacy.
nor support the changes in zoning, which essentially is why you're having this for the meeting, so there can be public input and engagement. The engagement, from what I can tell, is very negative, not to Costco, but very negative to the change, and I think will be detrimental, very detrimental to my community.
Well, and to your current cardholders in this area, because it's highly likely that you'll lose a very large percentage of our area's cardholders, because we're not gonna drive 15 miles, we're not gonna, because that is
That's why
not
there's less
what
traffic.
we supported bringing into our community.
So we'll drop our memberships because half of what
Exactly
we
what I'm
want
saying.
will be gone.
They don't care, they want the business memberships, they don't care about the
Okay,
individual
one last question,
memberships.
and that's it, 'cause we need to get the next group in.
So in the non-foods, soft lines, we won't have anything in the electronics that's in the front of the buildings currently. Okay? We will have a cell phone kiosk. We do have that.
Oh, well, God.
Right, we have an expanded set through some of the packaging and supplies for businesses. If you slide in front, we won't have any apparel. That's not part of the program. And again, we spoke about alcohol. We have towels, but it's very abbreviated, very small SKU count. Microwaves, appliances, small appliances, yes, we will.
What about pet food?
That's actually an expanded SKU count. So for the business, it's a different thing. What's that? I was just answering her question. She asked about a microwave. Yeah.
First question is, what's not?
Yeah, so again, alcohol won't be there. In the center section of the building, it's gonna be strictly apparel, will not be there. And all your fun seasonal lawn and garden items, that gets skewed down tremendously. And then on the food side of the business, it actually grows. So if you look at the food side, where we will have health and beauty and a limited amount of Department 93, which is pharmacy goods, we'll have a limited SKU count there, but you won't have the actual pharmacy itself.
No pharmacy, no eyeglasses, no hearing aids.
No food court, no tire shops.
Why does the pharmacy need to leave?
Food desert. This store served Kansas City and served population in Kansas City.
But you say it's a food desert, Steve just went through explaining
I'm
these
saying
things.
it's not a food desert, but what we're losing are are a lot of the kinds of things that support people in this community. When you say, you can go to Lee Summit, or you can go to Overland Park, what you're really doing is you're saying, we really don't care about people in this part of Kansas City. We don't care that you come here for your eyeglasses. We don't care that you come here for your hearing aids. You can go to Lee Summit. That attitude has completely turned me off.
That's true. We live in the urban core because we don't want to be in the suburbs. Period.
We appreciate it. We're gonna wrap this up. We
Why
need
does
to-
the pharmacy need to leave?
Steve answered that question. It's not part of the business center model. It's not part of the
Be
operation
not-
of the business center.
Be unique, put one in.
Why do you think of what to, with a
Ladies and gentlemen, it was 2 hours, 1 hour session.